right, let's take you back to Singapore. Breaking news, President Trump and Kim Jong Un are expected to sit down at that table that you saw on your screen at any moment for what we only know will be some kind of signing. It's after 1:30 p.m. in Singapore. They're 12 hours ahead of the East Coast here in the United States. We're watching this summit unfold live before our eyes. This was just moments ago. We don't know what is on this piece of paper, but let's listen in.
Pretty comprehensive document, and we've had a really great term together, a great relationship. I'll be giving a news conference at 2:30, which is in a little bit less than 2 hours, and we'll discuss this at great length. In the meantime, I believe that they'll be handing it out on behalf of Chairman Kim and myself, and we're both very honored to sign the document. Thank you.
우리가 매우 중요한 문서에 서명을 하게 될 것입니다. 이 문서는 굉장히 포괄적인 문서이고 오늘 굉장히 좋은 아주 훌륭한 회담을 가졌고 또 아주 좋은 관계를 구축하였습니다. 2시 반, 즉 다시 말해서 약 2시간 후에 나는 기자회견을 할 예정입니다. 거기서 좀 더 자세하게 말씀을 드리겠습니다만은 일단 그 와중에 그동안에는 발표문이 기자들에게 배포될 것으로 알고 있습니다. 감사합니다.
Would you like to say something to the press?
우리는 오늘 역사적인 이 만남에서 지난 과거를 덮고 새로운 출발을 알리는 그 역사적인 문건에 서명을 하게 됩니다.
Today, we had a historic meeting and decided to leave the past behind, and we are about to sign a historic document.
세상은 아마 중대한 변화를 보게 될 것입니다.
The world will see a major change.
오늘과 같은 이런 자리를 위해서 노력해 주신 트럼프 대통령께 사의를 표합니다.
I would like to express my gratitude to President Trump to make this meeting happen.
감사합니다.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Okay.
Mr. President, did he agree to denuclearize first?
We're starting that process very quickly. Very, very quickly. Absolutely.
Mr. President, 100% denuclearization?
Did you talk about auto-warm beer, sir?
Mr. Kim, did you agree to give up your nuclear arms?
You'll be seeing everything in just a little while. The letter that we're signing is very comprehensive, and I think both sides are going to be very impressed with the result. A lot of goodwill went into this, a lot of work, a lot of preparation. I want to thank everybody on both sides, Secretary Pompeo and all of his counterparts. They were absolutely fantastic.
네, 조금 후에 우리가 서명한 발표문의 내용에 대해서 곧 알게 될 것입니다. 아까도 얘기했습니다마는 매우 포괄적인 그러한 문서이고 양측이 그 결과에 대해서 굉장히 만족할 만한 결과입니다. 이 문서를 서명하고 또 이런 그 만남을 갖기 위해서 많은 사람들이 선의를 가지고 노력했고 또 많은 준비 작업이 있었습니다. 그 양측의 그러한 작업을 해주신 분들에 대해서 감사드립니다. 거기에는 폼페오 장관뿐만 아니라 조선 측의 그러한 여러 참여자분들에게 감사드립니다.
Thank you very much. It's fantastic. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you a little bit later. And we're very proud of what took place today. I think our whole relationship with North Korea and the Korean Peninsula is it's going to be a very much different situation than it has in the past. We both want to do something. We both are going to do something. And we have developed a very special bond. So people are going to be very impressed. People are going to be very happy. And we're going to take care of a very big and very dangerous problem for the world. And I want to thank Chairman Kim spent a lot of time together today, very intensive time. And I would actually say that it worked out for both of us far better than anybody could have expected. I think far better. I watched the various news reports. I would say far better than anybody even predicted. And this is going to lead to more and more and more. And it's an honor to be with you. Very great honor. Thank you. Thank you to all of your representatives very much.
우리 둘 다 오늘 둘 다 뭔가 이루어내려고 싶어하고 또 둘의 특별한 관계가 오늘 시작되었습니다. 그리고 우리는 아주 여러 가지 중요한 여러 가지 문제의 해결에 시작을 했다라고 말씀드릴 수가 있습니다. 김 위원장님께 감사드리고 또 내가 보기에는 오늘 만남이 그 누가 기대했던 것보다 또 그 누가 예측했던 것보다도 좋은 만남이고 좋은 결과로 이루어질 것 같습니다. 또 앞으로 더 많은 진척이 있을 것 같고 이렇게 만나게 된 것을 영광으로 생각합니다. 김 위원장님 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Will you invite Chairman Kim to the White House?
Absolutely, I will.
All right, let's bring in Christiane Amanpour. Just to recap, if people are coming in right now, is the second major handshake photo op we've seen of the day. The president and the leader of North Korea just signed a declaration. The president said it is very big, very comprehensive. He was asked whether or not it will be about denuclearization, and he said we're going to start that process very quickly, very quickly. He also said that it will be made public soon, so we'll get the actual details of it. Chairman Kim said that this declaration means that we are leaving the past behind, that the world will see a major change, and expressed gratitude to the president. The president responded by saying that he and Kim now have a special bond after spending intensive time together. Christiane Amanpour, it's going to come out, so we're going to see what is on it. But certainly,
Yes.
President Trump doing what he does best, speaking in superlatives about how amazing this has been.
Well, that's exactly right, and we are going to hopefully see it because they say they're going to distribute it, and that would be the norm. They did the same thing after the declaration was signed in Panmunjom. Obviously, this was between the two Koreas, but clearly they will do that since he said they were going to do it, and that's going to be really good to be able to see the detail of what they have agreed to. But again, they have both sat down, the two leaders of these two countries, and they have affixed their signatures to this letter, this declaration that the president calls comprehensive, and there was again more really warm words between them. You know, obviously Chairman Kim was slightly more reticent. He's not used to that kind of thing. He spoke less than President Trump did, but all the words of President Trump were translated by Kim's, well, actually, I don't know which translator. It may have been the U.S. translator because it was the woman, and we know that is the U.S. translator. And then, of course, a lot more handshakes, a lot more back pats and arm pats, and off they went. We do know that President Trump said he's going to be holding a press conference. He said at 2:30, that's by my watch, in about 45 minutes from now. So we're bound to hear a lot more very soon.
And it has to be a letter of intent, though, because there just hasn't been the time to hammer out any specifics. The question is whether or not it will be found satisfying, and that will be predicated on what comes next. Yes?
Sorry, I mean, yes and no. I mean, we don't know whether their people had hammered out a sort of a list of things that they were willing to sign before the leaders came out. We've been told that there's been a lot of work going into this letter, this declaration. So we don't know. We don't know. If it's very comprehensive and the president said, you know, denuclearization will start very quickly, very soon, that's interesting.
Certainly interesting. Christiane Amanpour, we'll wait for more details to put meat on the bones. Thank you very much. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side, we have people on the ground trying to get you details of what is in this declaration. Oh, wait, there they are. We want to show you live moments when we get them. Once again, the president and the leader are together. You see the folio in the president's arm. They exchanged copies of this declaration that each had signed. Again, the schedule is loose and somewhat extemporaneous, so we don't know where they're going right now. We don't know if this is going to be another joint appearance. It does seem to be exactly that, another photo opportunity. Jeff Zeleny, you're with us?
The White House, he said, absolutely, I will. Yeah.
Be a worthy negotiator. He's a worthy negotiator. On behalf of his people, a very worthy, very smart negotiator, absolutely. And we had a terrific day, and we learned a lot about each other and about our countries. So.
What did you learn about him? What did you learn about him, sir?
I learned he's a very talented man. I also learned that he loves his country very much.
When will you see each other again?
Will you be meeting again, sir?
Will you be seeing each other again soon?
We'll meet many times. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right, Jeff Zeleny, the two men going their own way. We understand that the president was asked, would you invite Kim to the White House? And he said yes. Is that your understanding?
He did indeed, Chris. In fact, the president's exact words were absolutely, I will, to the question of would he invite Kim Jong Un to the White House, to Washington. And that's exactly what the president said last Thursday in the Rose Garden when Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was visiting Washington. The president was indeed asked if he would invite Kim Jong Un if the meeting went well, and he said he would. So now this is after the meeting. So this is one of the next steps potentially. Of course, we do not know when that would happen. We do not know if other conditions would have to be met. But Chris, interestingly, as we still await the hard details of that signing document there, the president said last week this would not be a photo opportunity. He's right about that. This was a very substantive meeting, the fact that they met. But this was a rolling series of photo opportunities intended to design, still going on, to show that this relationship, he believes, is going to be a real one here. So again, still important, though, to wait the exact details of what they signed because they have not been released yet. And part of the show going on is to sign it with this fanfare. We'll have to see exactly what they signed whenever the White House releases it.
All right, let's bring in Christiane Amanpour. You just heard the president there. He's saying, yes, I would invite Kim to the White House. He says, I've discovered he's a very talented man who loves his country very much. You know, tricky sentimentalities here for a president of the United States when addressing the head of a regime that is murderous and completely oppressive of freedoms in his country.
Well, first, it's proven what we've already seen over and again, that the president of the United States can be a bully and a pussycat. So for whatever reasons that he calculates is best for the policy he's trying to achieve or the personal relationship, he can do both those things. Now, he's obviously flattering Kim Jong Un like other leaders flatter him, because this is also about getting the measure of each other the first time they have met, the attempt to create some kind of personal relationship out of a binational relationship that has been really mired in mistrust and all sorts of bad feeling over the last 70-odd years, with a few spikes when there were a few times, for instance, when President Clinton did the agreed framework in '94, then you had President Bush with the six-party talks and what happened with the cultural opening in Pyongyang in 2008. You tried with President Obama, that didn't really work, and now we've got this attempt. So, you know, they have to try to also forge personal relationships, and you could see that that's what President Trump was trying to do, and he's obviously a lot more adept at it. He's done it a lot during his business career. Kim Jong Un slightly less adept, but seeming to follow along with a lot of smiles, a lot of sort of noddings, a lot of being, willingly sort of walked around by the president and stopped in front of various cameras and the like. But of course, Kim Jong Un himself has already scored a victory, and if he gets an invitation to the White House, that is icing on the cake.
Well, look, the president will get points back home with his own party and even hardline conservatives for seeming in control here. Strength, control, that projected power is important politically in terms of optics. However, it does remind a little bit of Obama with Cuba. Now, obviously, the stakes are so much different with North Korea as potentially nuclear with its capabilities. But there was so much criticism, Jeff Zeleny, of Obama for, hey, how do you deal with Cuba with all their human rights violations and no preconditions? You can't cut them any slack. How will the party regard the takeaway from this with Trump and Kim?
Chris, that is a great point, and those are Republicans criticizing, largely Republicans criticizing President Obama for human rights violations in Cuba. But I think this is, as you said, a nuclear power, a whole nother level there. But the president, if you could hear it during one of those photo opportunities after the signing, he was asked if he talked to Kim Jong Un about Otto Warmbier, of course, the college student who died in the hands of the regime, and the president did not answer that question. So we do not know if human rights were discussed today. Last week, the president said he would indeed bring up human rights, and then this week there was some question if that would happen. But clearly this is not necessarily a moment for lecturing. That's not President Trump's style to lecture in public. But our reporting will have to show and bear out if they talked about human rights at all. If they didn't, he'll be criticized for that roundly, Chris.